streaming.
Yes, bro.
We're streaming. Dror, can you help me with something?
Okay, so welcome. We'll wait a couple of minutes just to start kind of for all the streaming to work and the recording and for people to arrive. And meanwhile, so we'll begin officially in just a couple of minutes. Dror, maybe can you let me know when you think it's okay to start the actual event?
Yeah, just a second, let's see.
Okay, so we're streaming this on multiple platforms. I see we have attendees who are with us through Zoom, but we're also streaming this live on Victoria Hanna's Facebook page and on her YouTube channel. So whatever platform you're seeing this on, welcome, and we're really excited to have you and be with you. And I guess we'll wait just another minute or so to actually begin with introductions and the actual event as people are streaming in. I can say for those of you who are with us on Zoom, that we have disabled your cameras and your microphones, so you don't need to worry about muting yourself or anything like that. But we are using the chat function. If you want to let us know anything during the event itself, please do chat, and then we'll be using that for questions at the end as well. So it's a pleasure to welcome you all to Chicago, where this event is happening, even though in fact it's happening across the ocean in Tel Aviv, and many other places. Wherever you're watching it, it's taking place there as well, of course.
Yeah, so people are joining.
People are still joining us, and so I'll say again that we're streaming this on Zoom and on a couple of other platforms through Facebook and YouTube as well, and we're just kind of allowing people to gather for just another minute or so, and then we will begin officially. My name is Naama Rokem, and I teach at the University of Chicago, where I direct the Greenberg Center for Jewish Studies. And I'm also a member of the Center for Middle Eastern Studies, and those are the two centers that are co-sponsoring this event. And we're very excited to host Victoria Hanna today. And we're so happy that people can join us through all these platforms and are glad to welcome you. Shall we start officially? Dror, are we?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think
Okay.
people still joining, but yeah, let's start. They're gonna join.
Okay, so as people are still joining us, let me officially, or sort of now for real, welcome you to the University of Chicago virtually, and welcome Victoria. It's lovely to have you. This is an event that is hosted by the Joyce Z. and Jacob Greenberg Center for Jewish Studies and the Center for Middle Eastern Studies at the University of Chicago. My name is Naama Rokem, and I direct the Center for Jewish Studies and teach here in the departments of Near Eastern Languages and Civilizations and in Comparative Literature. And it's a real pleasure to host this event. Let me just start by saying that this event is funded through the Sarah Bunny and Leo Horowitz Fund at the Greenberg Center for Jewish Studies. And I also want to thank the people sort of behind the scenes who have made this event possible. Nancy Pardee, the administrator of the Center for Jewish Studies, Krishna Kulkarni, and Tom McGuire at the Center for Middle Eastern Studies, and Dror Rada, who is the technician and the studio director who's helping on the Israeli side of things. So this event came out of, it's a second in a series of two, I guess. We had another workshop event hosting Julia Eisenberg and Jeremiah Lockwood a few weeks ago. And both of these events came out of just sort of a sense of trying to imagine what becomes possible under the current conditions and trying to find ways to.
Naama, just to make sure we can switch the screen so we can see you as well. Currently, we're just seeing Victoria, so we can change the spot.
So I'm just a voice. Sorry.
We want to see you now
so
because you are talking.
Yeah. So
and how do I do that?
Let's see.
Krishna doesn't know.
Yeah.
Hey, I spotlighted Nama's video.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, so I've been a ghostly voice until now, but it's not nice to be seen as well. I'm just going to say, just very briefly, I'll introduce Victoria in just a moment, but just say very, very briefly that when the pandemic started, we had been emailing with Victoria about the possibility of hosting her here physically sometime next year. And then once we switched to doing everything online as we are now, the idea was, well, we could do something kind of ad hoc, more improvise within the sort of the technical possibilities that are opened by this moment, and also think together with Victoria about all of the dimensions of how the voice travels through these media that we're using now, and what it means right now to breathe and to make your voice heard. We started talking about that a couple of weeks ago in relation to the pandemic here in Chicago in the United States. The notion of breathing and making your voice heard, both of these terms now have become have added resonance and importance, I think. So I think it's even more meaningful to be having this conversation given what's been going on the streets here. And so I feel very fortunate that we're able to explore all of this together with Victoria Hanna, who is a local artist and a performer who has been exploring language and voice and the way that letters and sounds animate our thinking and animate our world and our voices. And that will be the focus, I think, of the conversation with her. Victoria grew up in Jerusalem in an Orthodox family that sort of formed her world and her thinking about all of this, and has been performing in Israel and all over the world, in Europe and the United States in the last few years, has received a lot of attention and interest for this kind of experimental work that she's been doing. And so when we were talking a couple of weeks ago, just starting to imagine what this would be, as I said, we spoke about sort of the mouth that is covered and the mouth that is uncovered and the voice that is heard. And that was sort of part of what we wanted to explore. So with that, Victoria, I'll turn it over to you. And as I said, I'll remind everyone, so attendees to the Zoom meeting are all muted and we can't see you, but we do see everything that you put in the chat, and Victoria will perform and sing and speak a little bit, and then we will have time at the end to ask a few questions. So if during the performance, if you want to put in questions or comments, I'll sort of aggregate them and then bring them to Victoria at the end.
Hello, I'm very happy to be here. And I think I will start not by speaking, but by voicing. Just for me, it's a little bit weird to put my voice through screens because I'm addicted to spaces and to bring my voice in a real time in a space. But this is a very interesting media, and I would like to try it. So I'm going to start with the mem, with the letter mem, which is the sound m. I want to show you how the letter M, mem, in the Hebrew alphabet looks. Generally, we treat the space, the empty space, like the blank paper, as everything, as the whole space here, everywhere we are. And when I write a letter, then I show how I treat the space with a sound through this letter. So when I'm doing the mem, I'm taking the whole space and I'm basically bringing only one possibility, which is here. The entrance is down. And according to the book of creation, which is the most ancient Kabbalah book, the mem, the sound of the mem and the mem belongs to the earth and to the belly, to the lower place of the body. So I'm going to demonstrate now again the beginning of the voice that comes with the letter mem. I want to invite you to inhale. And when we are exhaling, we are going to bring the mem into our lips. And while I'm doing that, I want you to ask yourself, does it make sense that what I'm doing now, like the vibration of this sound, belongs to the earth? This is from where I start to bring the voice out. It starts in a very, very gentle way, where I'm inhaling, and when I'm exhaling, this mem appears. And then I treat the voice almost as a matter, as a clay. And then when I open my lips after I'm doing the mem, I create the vowel. And the vowel opens up the voice in the space. So now we are going to demonstrate the silence, and then the inhaling, bringing the mem, exhaling with the mem in the lips. And then from that mem, I'm just going to demonstrate the opening of the lips. Let's see what will happen. You are welcome to join me. I don't hear you because you're all muted, but you are welcome to join. Inhaling. Exhaling. Basically, I created the A, the vowel A. A. I want you to put your hands here and let's do the A, and I want you to feel what happens actually in all of this system when we are creating the A. Ah, this all get expanded, right? Ah, and I'm treating this area, like the whole area inside here, the mouth and all of this, as a world, as a universe. And this is a parallel world to the bigger world which we are dwelling inside. So when I'm doing the action ah, and I'm opening this whole structure, basically also the big space opens, and I'm doing with my hands as if I am in a big mouth. My hands get wider. And this is the vowel ah, which in Hebrew we call patah. Patah means to open. It's a full opening, and it looks like this. Like a big, big opening, like this. Ah. So now I'm going to demonstrate it. You see that it's not about singing. It almost feels like a plastic action in the space. And what happens when it goes into words? Every letter and every syllable is another action in the space. And for me, every letter is a sound, is a beautiful gift that I'm using in my mouth. So for example, if I want to take a word which has only ah, only the opening, ah. So I can take the word Adama, which is in Hebrew, earth. Earth is Adama. So basically the action that I'm demonstrating here is that I take the ah and I open it. Ah. I take the d and I open it. Da. I take the and I open it. Ma. So it's an opening with another opening and another opening. Now I'm going to demonstrate it. Ah. Da. Ma. This is only one example how we can treat words not only as a way to deliver information, but as a very, very precise action in the space. And this is an amazing way to treat words. And I would like to demonstrate to you now a text from the Song of Songs. Some of you that doesn't understand Hebrew, you will grab the language as a vibration. I'm going to translate it also, and when I'm going to say it in English, I'm going to be in a continuous researching zone, because I'm going to ask myself while I'm doing that, what is the connection between the meaning and the sound? Okay, I'm going to start. This is from the Song of Songs. We are starting with the word I. I is a very beautiful word. I talk about it a lot. I, which is I, which I'm pointing to myself, and each one points to his own self. I is a beautiful action, again, because I'm taking again the big patah, the big opening with the aleph, the first letter, and I'm doing this. I'm taking everything. Ah, and then after I did the ah, I'm doing the yi, the vowel yi. What is this yi? What is the action here? Can you feel it? This is the hirik. We call it in Hebrew hirik. And it looks like this. It's very small. And it means going inside. Inside. It's very small. So when I say the word I take everything, I open it up outside, and then I bring it inside. I shrink it inside, very much inside. And this is the action. When I say I, it's everything which is inside. Let's say it. I. In Hebrew, it's pretty much the same. We say ani. Ani means I. So I'm doing the same action, plus I'm just using the sound n, which is also inside. So I take the ni, ani. So the sentence, we go back to the sentence from the Song of Songs. Ani, I. Yeshena. Yeshena means sleep. Sleep. Listen to the sound of the shin. When a mother wants to put her baby to sleep, she will use the shin, this sound. Ani yeshena. I sleep. And my heart is awake. You see, when I see the word awake, I'm using the sound of the k to emphasize the meaning. And my heart is awake. And my heart is awake. In Hebrew, awake is عير 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 I sleep. And my heart is awake. The voice of my beloved knocking. Voice in Hebrew is kol. Kol. And I'm asking myself, what is the connection between the sound and the meaning? First, when we do the o, the vowel o, you see, it goes from up down. O. So the voice and the call, they both have this vowel, which means that the voice is something that connects up and down and up, the earth with the sky with the earth. This is the O. The way the O looks in Hebrew is pretty much the same. You see? It goes like this. This is the O. O. It's this direction, up and down. Okay. So when I take the word voice and when I take the word kol, I'm doing vowel-wise the same action. But now I'm going to go to the Hebrew. And when I'm saying the kol, the k is knocking down. K. And the l is knocking up. You see? My tongue goes up. And when I say the word voice in Hebrew, I knock down, I connect with up, and I knock up. And it also looks in a very interesting way. You see? This is the k. The k knocks down. And this is the l. The l goes up. Kol. Kol is voice. The voice of my beloved knocking. Kol do di do fe. Isn't it amazing? I love this sentence. Listen, even if you don't understand Hebrew, just listen to this onomatopoeic action. Kol do di do fe. Kol do di do, kol do di do, kol do di do fe. The voice of my beloved knocking. The voice of my beloved knocking. Kol do di do, kol do di do, kol do di do fe. Kol do di do, kol do di do, kol do di do fe. Kol do di do, 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 kol do di do fe. This is the action of the word. I'm not just saying something. I'm not just illustrating a meaning. I'm demonstrating an action via the sound, with the syllables, with the vowels in the space. And this is, and most of the time when I'm dealing with ancient texts, in the ancient times, there was an amazing connection. It was a linked connection between the meaning and the sound, because the meaning was meant to be heard, and the ear and the mouth was more like a tool of creation. In many ancient traditions, the mouth is a tool of creation, and our mouth is parallel to the big mouth. What is the big mouth? The big mouth is the mouth of the creator, of the big creator. So when we are dealing with our mouth, we are dealing with a very, very amazing act. It's an act of creation, of creating. So I'm going to go back into this Song of Songs. I sleep and my heart is awake. The voice of my beloved knocking. Open to me, open to me, open to me, my sister, my beloved, my dove, my perfection. For my head is filled with dew, and my locks with the drops of the night. Layla, Layla, night. Ani yashana velibi عير awake. Velibi awake. Kol dodi dofek, the voice of my beloved knocking. Kol dodi dofek. Open to me, open. Open to me. look, the sound of the p is about breaking through. This is what I do, sound-wise. Let's do it. It's a breaking through. And when I say open, it connects with the sound. Open! Open! Open to me! To me! Inside. Pithi li. Again, in Hebrew we also have the p to open. Pithi li. But see how much e we have here is because it goes inside. Open to me. Pithi li. Open to me. I'm knocking on the door. Open to me. Open to me, my sister, my beloved, my dove. Ahoti, ra'ayati, yonati, tamati. Ahoti, my sister. Ra'ayati, my beloved. Yonati, my dove. Tamati, my perfection. Ahoti, ra'ayati, yonati, tamati. Ahoti, ra'ayati, yonati, tamati. אחותי רעייתי יונתי תמתי שראשי נמלא טל. My head is filled with dew. קבוצותיי רסיסי לילה לילה. אני ישנה. I sleep. Open to me. I sleep. פתחי לי. אני ישנה. Open to me. I sleep. My sister, my beloved, my dove. Ahoti ra'ayati yonati tamati. We can feel the knocking. Ahoti ra'ayati yonati tamati. Open to me. Open, open. Shh, I sleep. Pashateti et kutanti. This is what she answers. Pashateti et kutanti. I took out my nightgown. Shall I wear it again? פשטתי את כותנתי, איך אלבשנה. רחצתי את רגליי. I washed my feet. איך אטנפן. Shall I soil them? Shh. And after a while, she get up to open. I got up to open for my beloved. קמתי אני לפתוח לדודי. ודודי חמק עבר, נפשי יצאה, you see I'm using the נפשי יצאה בדברו. I got up to open for my beloved and my lover slipped away. I called and found him not. I sought and found him not. I called, he did not answer. קמתי אני לפתוח לדודי ודודי חמק עבר, נפשי יצאה בדברו, ביקשתי הוא, I called him, I'm using the הוא, ביקשתי הוא, ולא מצאתי הוא, קראתי ולא ענני, I called, he did not answer. Then the guards found me as they went around the city. They beat me, they bruised me, they tore my veil from me, those guards of the walls. Swear to me, daughters of Jerusalem. השבעתי אתכם בנות ירושלים. אם תמצאו את דודי, מה תגידו לו? If you find my lover, what will you tell him? Sick of love am I, sick with love am I. שחולת אהבה אני. Did you hear what I say? I took the and another and another This is another word with 3 openings. I take the aleph and I open it. Then I take the hey and I open it. Then I take the vet and I open it. Va. Va. Which means love. Sick of love am I, שחולת אהבה אני. Sick of love am I. אני ישנה, my dove, יונתי, my dove, hidden in the cliff, in the shadow of the rock. Let me see you. Let me hear your voice. Now I'm going to use my voice. And the voice is another tool. Not only the syllables and the vowels are amazing, but using the voice as a calling, as a stream, as a matter, as a stream of calling in the space. Yonati, בחגבי הסלע, בסתר המדרגריני את מראייך, השמיעיני את קולך, כי קולך ערב ומרך נווה, יונתי. בשירי תבוא נני ומרי ואל תפני לדרך סוטני כחיצדה וניסה ונתעדן ונסבע ונשתה מעיינות דעה ונשירה עלי נבל וזמרתי תני ציונה יונתי. My dove. Thank you. If anybody has question or something, Nama, maybe we can.
Yes. Krishna, am I back? Can people see me as well? Yes. Thank you so much. I guess, first of all, I imagine this is when we all clap our hands virtually, unheard behind their muted microphones, wherever they're watching. This is to say again, to remind people, people are saying thank you and thanking you for the performance in the chat. But if you have any questions, this would be the time. I guess I'm very curious. Obviously, right, you're a recording artist and the microphone is not new to you, but this way of being together with other people,
Yeah.
I'm curious what that's like on your end.
Yeah. It's very different than having like a kind of interaction which is real. But I think that we are so lucky to have this possibility. This is really amazing that I'm here in this small room, bringing my voice out, and I can connect with people from different countries in the world. So, yeah, I think this is something that we need to learn, to communicate through screens, and to use this amazing opportunity, but yet not to lose our authentic expression, because we are not screens. The screens just helps us. And yeah, it's an interesting and very challenging situation. And I was thinking a lot about the mouth, because in this situation, as you mentioned also in the beginning, we all need to cover our mouth. And it makes me think, again, what is this tool of communication? And do we use it right in our everyday life? We use it mostly for pragmatic things. We use it many times for to manipulate or to convince. But can we just go back a step back and just feel it as a baby, and use it and enjoy the vowels, enjoy the syllable, and ask ourselves, what is this amazing tool? How can I treat it as something else but something functional?
There's a sort of a remarkable intimacy in how you're in our homes and
Exactly.
in our ears and very
Yes.
close, right? I was thinking when if we had been fortunate enough to have you here performing, we would all be sitting at a distance and seeing you on a stage, and now each one of us can be so close, ironically.
Yes.
We have a question from in the chat from Elliot Ginsberg, professor
Hi,
from
Elliot.
Michigan.
Hello, Elliot.
Who, I guess I can read out Elliot's question, and then if you want, we can unmute you, Elliot, as a follow-up. But Elliot writes, in Sefer Yetzirah, the book of creation that you referred to, the Hebrew letters are connected to divine forces of creation and creativity. And Elliot asks, what happens to you as you switch between Hebrew and English, or if you switch between other languages? Obviously, you've given it a lot of thought, how to
What
play
happens
with that. But
when I switch between languages? It's an interesting question. I have a very interesting things to say about it. For Rabbi Avraham Abulafia was like one of my greatest inspiration. He was so much. He lived in Spain a long time ago, and he devoted all of his life for the mouth as a tool of creation through the Hebrew alphabet. And for him, he was so much connected with the sounds of the letters that for him there was no separation between Hebrew and other languages, because he heard everything from that perspective. So sometimes when I go to give workshops in countries like Netherlands or Czech Republic, countries where people doesn't really understand Hebrew, I teach them the Hebrew alphabet as sound, and then they understand their names through that perspective. So when we are dealing so deep with the language that we go into the resolution of the sound, then all of the barriers somehow melts, because you see everything through sounds. So if I'm saying mother in English, then I feel the mem, because for me the mem is still the same mem. You know? Or if I say a word like open to me, I can feel the pay, which is the p, open to me. So for me, it's not that dramatic change. Of course, it is a change, but I'm so curious. I'm so in love with sounds that every language for me is something that I want to try in my lips. I want to feel it, to taste it. Every language is a different perspective with a sound. But I can say that I'm very much rooted in the Jewish tradition that I grew up with, that treats the mouth as a tool of creation and every letter as a universe. And when every letter is a universe and a letter is a sound, then a combination of sounds is something fascinating. And it's really fascinating to see, is there a connection between the meaning and the sound? Sometimes there is a very clear connections, and sometimes you see the opposite side. Do you want to see an example?
Absolutely,
For
yeah.
example, I take the word end. I take the word end like cut, like the end. End. So physically, I can feel that it's very cutted, right? End. 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 In Hebrew, when we say end, we have the completely opposite sensation. I'm going to demonstrate it. We take the s, and then we take the f, and we do it with the o. So. Basically, this is end. And it ended, this word ended just because I had no air. It wasn't cut. So basically, when I mean something and I say the opposite, and I have the opposite sensation, then a very deep thing happens. Then I understand that there is no end. This is amazing. This is one example. It's a living entity. The language is a living entity.
I guess you've been demonstrating precisely this, but someone here in the chat is asking also, first of all, saying this is a comment from Moods Schreiber. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Saying thank you for singing with the soul, and asking what vocal exercises would you recommend for someone who wants to start to sing or to explore themselves vocally?
Okay, so of course that there is the techniques, a lot of techniques, but I'm not really into the techniques. I believe that connecting with the voice is something very that has to do with the consciousness in a way. Because when you really understand in a deep sense that our voice is a mystery, it is a mystery, and you are very curious to hear it in a real time while it happens, then your voice is like an entity. Then it starts to get open. I'm not conducting my voice. I'm not ruling my voice. I'm allowing it to appear because it comes from above. This is how I feel. It comes through me. I'm not owning it. Every time before the voice comes, I'm curious. And when it comes, I listen. I follow it. And I think that this is a very, when you adopt this and you understand it in a deep sense, then you will see that your voice suddenly is doing a lot of things you didn't believe. It's about freeing it and being curious about it, being passionate about it, not in a way that, okay, I want to sing a song for that and that. It's not even a song. Singing, for me, the term singing is an invention of the human race. It's not about singing, it's voicing. It's going back, and feeling the pure roots of the sound, of the human sound, and and being very humble, just being curious about it and enjoying it, and never think that it should be like something. It shouldn't be. You just need to allow it, and it will. It's like a baby when you want to give him the best, like a flower. I'm not deciding to the flower when he will bring the flowers and when and what color it should be. It comes like a miracle. This is how I feel about the voice. I play with it, but never trying to technicize it. It's not my way.
So, but the next question, which comes from Evelyn Gould, asks you, nevertheless, I mean, I think you've given us sort of a way into your own process and your own intuitions and experimentation. But Evelyn asks if you can say a little bit about traditions that you build on and use, nevertheless, not as a discipline, I guess, but as a sort of well that you take from. Can you reflect on how your work reflects or carries on the resonance of chazanut, of kentraship, or other traditions?
Okay, chazanut, no. Not at all, but I never studied it. My father was a kind of, so I heard it at home. My father of blessed memory was a rabbi. He was singing also a lot, so I could feel it. I got the connection with the letters, with the words through him. I would say. An inspiration. But then I traveled a lot. I went to India. I studied classical Indian music, which was amazing revelation for me, because they treat the voice again as something that comes from above. You don't need to make any preparation before you sing. You just speak, and the same way that you speak, the voice is coming in a very pure, natural way. How are you? How are you? How are you? Very simple. It's like, yeah, and then they treat the voice also as a matter. When I heard my teacher, my Guruji, singing, I lived with him for a while. And went with him all over India, and when I saw him singing, it was long recitals, and he was really playing with the voice in the space as a magician, not as a singer. He doesn't see himself as a singer. I mean. And another tradition that I was connected with is the Mongolian one. I was in Mongolia doing a documentary film with a Mongolian throat singer, and I learned a lot then also. I was also in the Ukraine, in East Europe, and I learned with Mariana. I performed together with Mariana Sadowska from the Ukraine, and we did expeditions with the grandmothers who are really singing in an amazing way, but they don't see themselves as singers. They use the voice basically to provoke the nature. So this is those are some of my inspirations from ancient traditions. Indian, American Indians, natives Americans. I was with them also. It's really also very inspiring.
Thank you. I think we spoke before we started about wanting to keep this, of course, we could keep talking, but I think we want to keep this not very long, precisely because also the medium is exhausting. But as I'm kind of thinking about starting to wrap up, I also hope that you'll send us out with more singing, if that's. But I also wanted to mention, I forgot to mention when we opened up that if Krishna could put in the chat, there are a couple events coming up where you can join Victoria online and hear more. So
there is
you want to say something about?
Yeah, there is one event that is going to happen this Wednesday, which is going to be 8-dimension meditation with voice and instruments that has to do with the element of fire. And in this meditation, I'm not explaining, it's just, you just put your earphones and you dive inside. And the other event, which we also, you can put it here, Krishna, it's going to be on the 25th of this month, which is going to be another open lesson. And if people have questions, they can prepare it. And we will go more deep into the Hebrew alphabet as a code that we can use in our inner work in the everyday life.
So I think that's the link that's in the chat right now. The Eventbrite link is for that.
There is one link, and Krishna, maybe you can put the other one as well.
There it goes. Yeah. So the second one, this Dorada one, is for the meditation that people can join. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great.
I was thinking more as you were speaking about the current moment, the covering of the mouth, that one of the things that happens there. So there's a lot of things that interest me about it. It's also a way of being with others and caring for others, is precisely to cover your mouth and how we hear each other and meet each other. But also one thing that happens when you walk around with a mask is that you feel your breath very intensely on your face. And I'm trying to, with your help, but with your inspiration, to think about how that becomes also a kind of exploration.
What I do with a mask, this is really amazing. I go even when I go in public places, not a lot, but when I go, I'm talking to myself and nobody sees. This is really amazing. It's a special situation. This whole situation now is a special opportunity to dive inside and to develop this relationship with this entity that we call Ani, I, which is something so mysterious. We don't know anything about it. It's a riddle. I mean, each one has his own name, and he knows that if he's a female or a male and his profession. But these are real things. But what happens when we dive inside? And it's very powerful, and we can use words. We can talk to ourselves. We can discover a lot of secrets inside, because each human being is a diamond. He has so many secrets inside.
So would you like to sing something else as we sort of begin to wrap up?
Yes. I will use another sentence from the Song of Songs that has to do with water. And the word water in Hebrew is very beautiful. It's mayim. Mayim. You can feel how liquid it is. And it's from the Song of Songs, which means mayim hayim venozelim min Lebanon. Living water, streaming water from Lebanon. And when the rabbis talk about Lebanon, of course that geographically it's in the north of Israel, But when we are thinking about the water that goes from Lebanon, Lebanon is here, is up, is from above. And this is the water, the living water, the stream of life that comes from above through us. מים חיים ונוזלים מן לבנון. מים חיים ונוזלים מן לבנון. מים חיים ונוזלים מן לבנון. מים חיים ונוזלים מלבנון. מים חיים ונוזלים מלבנון. מים, 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 מים. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Victoria. I'll add that we've recorded this, and I think it will be available on your YouTube channel, right? Even later, if you want to share this with friends, you can go find it on Victoria's YouTube channel, along with a lot of other good stuff, and share it. And we might make it available on our website at the Greenberg Center for Jewish Studies. And I think with that, we'll thank you for sharing this living water with us and reviving us.
Yeah, and we can, it's an invitation. It's not just a performance. It's an invitation to use this aspects in our everyday life. These words, to take words that we really want to put inside and to keep on saying them, to bring them into our system, because words really influence or structure our reality, but we can also restructure our reality through words intentionally. We can take words and use them, because words are a vibration, meaning, and when all of this goes together into the system, it's an enormous power to work for our everyday life.
Okay, thank you very, very much. I'm not sure, Krishna, should we end the webinar part of this?
I can stop the recording.
We're all learning, right? That the beginnings and the endings of these events are always still awkward. We don't have the
So I believe the live stream will